Welcome to Say Said Tarot. I'm Yara, and I am not here for likes, shares, or subscriptions, simply for information, enlightenment, and perception, because you can only operate from the level of knowledge that you have. One of the biggest discrepancies that I've seen is the difference between tarot and oracle cards, and people saying, oh, this person is practicing magic or fraudulent activities because they're not using a certain deck, or they're not using a certain terminology to describe their emotions or their interpretation of the message. Let's talk about this, because first of all, what you're asking people to do is come to your level. And yes, we need to be able to communicate in a way that the message is being received, because that's the whole point. However, what you're asking people to do is dumb it down for me and make it plain stupid. Talk to me in my vernacular, the way I was raised, the way I've experienced life. And that's not always possible, okay? So, just so that you can pivot and move and adjust back and forth, let's talk about the difference between some of these different mediums, okay? So, first of all, the tarot is a specific deck of cards. It's 78 cards, 7-8. And each of these cards has a meaning, okay? There's a main storyline that the major arcana tells, and then there's some minor arcanas who also have a storyline, okay? So this tarot deck is specific and special, and that it is connected to numerology, it's connected to astrology, it's connected to different planets, signs, numbers, people, different people in history and situations in history, and that makes this deck very special. You can pick this card up out of the tarot and read it intuitively, but it also has a meaning and a story that's definite. Like, it doesn't change, okay? Now, an oracle card, it's gonna be either a picture or a phrase, and it just means whatever it means to you, whatever it says. It could say smile, and then that's it. There's not a specific number of cards in this deck. It's just based on the person who created, but it was created to inspire thought, to provoke a thought, an emotion, a feeling, and that's completely up to interpretation of the person who is reading the oracle card. It doesn't specifically necessarily have a birth sign or a date that's associated with it. Now, oracle creators do have books that they put in their decks, and you can read the book and it will give a message, and that's just to kind of guide you if you're not getting anything. But no, it doesn't have to say anything specific. That's the tarot. Now, you do have people who are intuitive, okay? And this just means that they know without reason, okay? They just know that they know. They just know, okay? That is specifically the definition of intuition. To know without reason. And when you hone in on this, which everyone cannot necessarily do, I thought everyone could. Everyone doesn't have intuition. This is a gift, and some people's intuition is stronger than others. Some people just are not tapped in at all. Based off that intuition, they could get different messages. They could look at a picture and they could just know. They could hear something and just know. Some great examples of this are Unveiled by Amber. She gets intuitive messages where she may look at something and see the tiniest detail and get a whole message from it, from some spot on the card or in the corner or something around the room. That's intuition. Also, we have a form of readings, quote unquote, right? Where the ghetto nun has a junk box. This is just a whole bunch of random shit that she found that is special and means something to her, that helps her to bring out a message to where we can understand. It's not that she's reading anything wrong. This is the fact that she has a high intuition and she can do that, okay? You can look at something and it mean one thing, and someone look at it and it means another, but they do that. Another form of readings is channeled messages, where people are clairaudient and they can hear things, such as Egyptian tarot. She opens up with channeled messages, and these are just things that she heard, such as phrases, names, words that are not native to her. This is foreign. So she knows that this isn't her, that she knows it's channeled from something else, her spirit guides, God, whatever she is harnessing in, because it's not of her native, okay? For instance, soda to pop. She may have been raised to say soda, but she may be hearing pop in reference to Mountain Dew. And she's like, where did that come from? That's intuitive. That's just knowing that you know. I wanted to clear this up because a lot of people in the spiritual community, and especially those that are not of the spiritual community, are looking at different people saying they're crazy, they're a hoax, and they're making things up. And yes, you do have that going on. However, you have to use your discernment, which is, again, just like intuition. You just have to believe without reason. Go with what you feel and not necessarily what you know, because it's self-evident, okay? There is no proving intuition. If these readers felt like they had to prove their intuition, then I wouldn't consider them intuitive at all, because when you move with intuition, you move with a certain level of power, and power is self-evident. Force is that needs to be proven and constantly shown, and intuitive people, high vibrating people, don't operate from there. But just to clear you up, I want to show you a couple of different examples. So, for instance, this is a Rider-Waite tarot card, just a traditional card. And this card has a story. It talks about the grapevines and the different pinnacles and how she got to this position, the message here. It talks about the work that she had to put in. It talks about where she came from and her journey on the way to be the Empress, okay? Has a whole storyline, okay? Meanwhile, this too is a tarot card. It is the moon card. And even though it has a different picture depiction, it's still going to have the same message because it is a tarot card. So it's still going to have that story. It is a major arcana. It's going to have the exact same meaning, even if it's not the original Rider-Waite, because they're calling it a tarot card. So when people are doing oracle readings or channel readings, that's not tarot reading. That's oracle, that's channel, that's intuitive. But you know the difference now. Now, an oracle card can look like this, where it's just a picture. It has a word. It says, priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Simple as that. And you can take what you want from that. This comes with a book. So if you're not getting anything from it, the book will tell you what they wanted you to get from it, and you can see if it resonates. Whereas this too is an oracle card, where it simply just says chaos and conflict. You take what you want. You look at that picture and you see what you see from it. How does it look like it's chaotic and conflicting? Is that good? Is that bad? Is it healing or it's not? And you sit with it and you take what you want. Versus the tarot, which has a whole story. This is just to give you a concept with the oracle. Now, when you reach a certain level of intuition, you can use anything, okay? You may be drawn to crystals and say, you know what, I was drawn to this crystal and this crystal means this, so maybe you're going through that. You may be drawn to, the Ghetto Nun uses simple children cards. I love her so much, I'm a fan, so I'm going to use her Unveiled by Amber Egyptian Tarot. But I feel safe when this could also give you some type of message. You could get something from this, feel something from this, hear something from this, see something in your mind's eye that gives you a message to deliver if you too are intuitive. So when you're going around and you're reading and you're listening, these are some things you need to be looking for. I actually use all of these. I isolate myself a lot in a way that I'm not necessarily taking in information from different news channels or whatnot, like streamlined information, but I use my intuition all the time. As far as I may just sit with something, anything, a sock, a t-shirt, a magazine, and just work on my messaging. Also, I'm very, very well known to read and then journal, or read and then meditate over things. I don't go out and pick up information, and I don't watch a lot of TV, zero social media, so that I can keep my intuition pure. If a thought comes, a thought comes. If a message comes, a message comes. But I don't go out to try to feed my intuition with external things. All of my messages will come from within myself and information that was led to me. If something external was led to me, that's different, but I don't go out and seek this information. I hope that everything you heard here means something or will mean something in the future as you are on your journey. My name is Yara, and either way, until we meet again, keep growing.